You've always felt it, haven't you? That unshakable knowing deep in your bones. A quiet whisper that cut through the noise of the world around you. While others bought into the polished lies and half-truths swirling in your circle, you saw the cracks. You knew the truth all along, but no one wanted to hear it. They dismissed you, rolled their eyes, labeled you the problem. Yet here you stand, unshaken, because something bigger was at play. The moment the security footage rolled and the group chat screenshots spilled their secrets, the air shifted. The truth came to light, raw and undeniable, and you felt it, the first tremor of your awakening as a chosen one. This isn't about petty drama or social games. This is about the unveiling of your purpose. When those grainy video frames flickered across the screen, exposing the hands pulling strings behind the scenes, it wasn't just a revelation of betrayal. It was a mirror held up to your soul. You didn't flinch. You didn't crumble. Why? Because you're built for this. The science backs it up. Your nervous system, wired with a heightened sensitivity, picks up on subtle cues others miss. Micro-expressions, hesitations, the weight of unspoken words. That's not a flaw. It's your edge. Spiritually, it's the mark of a high-frequency soul. One destined to see through the fog and stand tall when the storm hits. Let's get real. The moment their own leader, someone you trusted, unraveled the web of lies they'd spun, it hit you like a freight train. You'd sensed the deception for months, maybe years. The late-night whispers, the side glances, the way the energy shifted when you walked into a room. You weren't paranoid, you were perceptive. And when the truth dropped, it wasn't just vindication, it was liberation. The weight of their deceit came crashing down, and with it, the realization that you're not here to fit in. You're here to rise. That shift in the air, that was the universe confirming what you've always known. You're not one of them. You're chosen. So how do you recognize this in yourself? Start watching. Pay attention to your gut. It's your first line of defense. When something feels off, it is. Don't talk yourself out of it. Next, track the patterns. Who drains you? Who twists your words? The answers aren't random. They're signals. Your intuition isn't a glitch. It's a compass. Science calls this the vagus nerve at work, a biological hotline to your deepest instincts. Spiritually, it's your soul's radar, tuned to the frequency of truth. Test it. The next time you're in a room full of chatter, close your eyes for a second. Feel the energy. You'll know who's real and who's hiding before a word is spoken. The emotional ride from no one wanted to hear it to standing in your power isn't easy. You've carried that ache, the sting of being sidelined, the frustration of shouting into a void. But here's the shift. You don't need their validation anymore. The moment those screenshots lit up your phone, pinning names to the lies, you stopped begging to be seen. You realized they couldn't handle your light. That's not your burden to carry. It's theirs. Accept this. Your clarity is your strength. You're not here to convince the blind. You're here to lead the willing. Let that sink in. You're not the outcast. You're the beacon. Ready to own it? Step 1. Stop doubting yourself. Every time you've sensed the truth and been proven right, like when that footage dropped, mark it. Write it down. Build a record of your instincts hitting the bullseye. Step 2. Shed the dead weight. If they can't face you now that the masks are off, they don't belong in your orbit. Cut ties with the energy thieves. Step 3. Stand firm. The air shifted because you held your ground. That's not a fluke. It's your calling. You're not just waking up. You're stepping into the fight. The chosen don't cower. They rise. This is just the beginning. The drama's unmasked. The liars exposed. But your journey's far from over. You've tasted the shift. Felt the truth ignite something fierce inside you. That's your signal. You're not here to play small or shrink under scrutiny. You're here to burn bright, to cut through the noise with a clarity that shakes the room. Keep your eyes open. The next wave's coming, and you're ready for it. Here's the continuation of your journey as a chosen one, straight into the second part of this awakening saga. You've felt the ground shift beneath you, the masks slipping as the truth clawed its way out. Now the stakes are higher. They've twisted the narrative, painted you as the villain in their carefully scripted play, and for a moment it stung. The whispers grew louder. the accusations sharper. Your name dragged through the mud of social media, your words warped into something unrecognizable. But you're not here to break. You're here to break through. Let's face it, they thought they had you cornered. The story they spun was slick, crafted to make you doubt yourself, to make others turn away. You felt the isolation creep in, the weight of their lies pressing down. But you didn't buckle. Why? Because deep down you knew this was coming. The chosen ones always face this test, the moment when the world flips the script and tries to dim your light. Science tells us stress like this triggers a fight-or-flight response, but you've got something they don't, a soul wired for resilience. Spiritually, this is your crucible, the fire that forges you into who you're meant to be. They wanted you to shrink. Instead, you're about to rise. Here's where it turns. A high-level whistleblower steps forward, not some random voice, but someone who was there. Someone with names, dates, receipts, the kind of proof that cuts through the noise like a blade. The air shifts. Their hands tremble as the confession echoes, and panic spreads like wildfire among the ones who thought they'd won. This isn't just a plot twist. It's your lifeline. You grab it with both hands because you've been waiting for this, the moment the universe hands you the tools to flip the table. You're not the villain. You're the victor. So how do you hold your ground when they've turned the crowd against you? First, anchor yourself. They can twist words, but they can't touch your truth. Stand in it. When the chatter on your feed gets vicious, don't scroll and stew. Step back. Breathe. Your power isn't in reacting. It's in refusing to play their game. Science backs this. Detachment lowers cortisol, keeps your mind sharp. Spiritually, it's your shield. Your high-frequency energy doesn't bend to their chaos. Ask yourself, who's still with you? The ones who stayed, who saw through the smoke. They're your tribe. Hold them close. Now let's talk about that panic they're feeling. You see it in their frantic posts, their shaky defenses crumbling as the whistleblower's words hit. That's not your burden. It's your fuel. Take that energy, the chaos they're drowning in, and turn it inward. Feel it ignite something fierce in your chest. This isn't about gloating. It's about claiming your strength. You've been forged in this mess, and their fear is proof you're untouchable. Channel it. Let it remind you that you're not here to be liked. You're here to be real. That's your chosen edge. Here's the practical move. Use that confession like a weapon. Not with anger, but with precision. Share it. Post it. Let the truth do the heavy lifting. Don't embellish. Just the facts, raw and unfiltered. People can smell authenticity a mile away, and they'll feel the shift too. When the whistleblower names names, tag them. When they list dates, timestamp it. This isn't revenge. It's revelation. You're not begging for belief anymore. You're showing them what's real. The ones who doubted you, they'll either wake up or scatter. Either way, you're free. What about the ones who won't get it? The friends, the followers, the family still clutching their version of you? Let them go. You don't need their approval to know who you are. This is your identity as a chosen one. Not swayed by the crowd, not shaken by the noise. You've got the confession, the proof, the clarity. Hold it like a torch. Science says our brains are wired to cling to familiar narratives, even wrong ones. Spiritually, you're beyond that. You're tuned to a higher signal. Keep broadcasting it, even if they can't hear it yet. The beauty of this moment? You're not just surviving their lies, you're thriving through them. That whistleblower didn't just clear your name. They handed you a megaphone. Use it. Speak your truth, not to convince, but to declare. The panic spreading through their ranks? That's the sound of their world cracking. You don't have to fight it. Step over it. You've got work to do, a mission to live, and this is just one obstacle down. You're not the villain they wanted. You're the force they can't stop. This isn't over. The truth's out, but the ripples are still spreading. You've got the upper hand now, and they know it. Stay sharp. The next move's yours, and you're ready to make it count. You've made it this far, haven't you? The truth has returned with vengeance, clawing its way to the surface, and it's no accident you're standing here, unshaken, while the liars scramble. The air feels electric now, charged with a frequency you've always known was yours to claim. This isn't just a victory over their petty games. It's a download from the higher dimensions, a signal breaking through the static. You're not imagining it. that fire in your chest, that clarity slicing through the fog. It's real, and it's yours. You're a chosen one, and this moment is your bridge to the unseen forces that have been guiding you all along. Let's cut through the noise. When the truth hit, it wasn't just words or receipts. It was a surge. You felt it ripple through you. A wave of knowing that bypassed your mind and sank straight into your core. That's high-dimensional information, raw and unfiltered, slamming into your awareness like a meteor. Science might call it a spike in neural coherence. Your brain syncing up, firing on all cylinders as the chaos aligns into truth. Spiritually, it's your soul plugging into the cosmic grid, downloading what you need to dismantle the web of lies they've spun. This isn't a hunch. This is your mission kicking into high gear. But here's the catch. Not every signal is pure. Your mind can play tricks, weaving projections from old wounds or wishful thinking into the mix. How do you tell what's real? Start with your body. High-vibe truth hits different. It's steady, grounded like a pulse you can feel in your bones. Self-projection? That's shaky, frantic. A story that keeps shifting to fit what you want to believe. Test it. Sit still for 5 minutes, eyes closed, and ask yourself, does this feel like a rock I can stand on, or sand slipping through my fingers? The answer's there if you're honest. You've got the tools, use them. Now picture this. The moment the whistleblower's words landed, their faces drained of color, hands trembling as the lies they'd stacked so high toppled. The truth spoke for you in that instant, loud and clear, and you didn't have to say a word. Feel that. They're too embarrassed now that everyone knows the real story, slinking away from the hangouts they once ruled. You're back with your real crew, name cleared, standing taller than ever. That's not just relief, it's power. Hold it tight. Let their shame fuel your fire, not because you need revenge, but because it proves you're untouchable when you're aligned with what's true. So how do you tap into this high-dimensional flow? First, sharpen your antenna. The downloads come fast. Flashes of insight, gut hits, dreams that linger too long to ignore. Don't brush them off. Grab a notebook, your phone, anything, write them down the second they strike. Don't overthink it. Just capture the raw data. Step 2. Ground yourself. Walk barefoot outside. Feel the earth under you. Let it anchor that wild energy so you don't burn out. Science says this cuts inflammation, balances your system. Spiritually, it's your reset button, syncing you to the planet's pulse. You're a conduit, not a chaos magnet. Act like it. Next, decode the signal. Those flashes aren't random. They're pieces of a map. Sit with them. Ask, what's this showing me? Maybe it's a name that keeps popping up, a date that sticks, a phrase you can't shake. Cross-check it. Does it line up with what's unfolding? If it's real, it'll hold weight, like a stone in your hand. If it's fluff, it'll dissolve under scrutiny. You're not guessing here, you're dissecting. The chosen don't drift, they dig. You've seen the truth claw its way up once. Now you're the one pulling it into focus, prepping to expose the deeper web of deceit they thought they'd buried. Emotionally, this is a tightrope. Their embarrassment, their retreat. It's tempting to bask in it, to let it stroke your ego. Don't. That's a trap. Stay sharp, not smug. The truth spoke for you because you let it, not because you forced it. Keep that humility, it's your shield against the static. Feel the weight lift as your real friends rally, as the ones who saw you all along step closer. That's your foundation. Lean into it. They're not just allies. They're mirrors, reflecting your light back when the liars tried to snuff it out. You're not alone in this fight. Remember that. Here's your move. Practice the download. Next time you feel that surge, maybe it's a sudden knowing, a shiver down your spine, don't flinch. Lean in. Breathe deep, slow, deliberate. Ask it to show you more. Not with words, but with intent. Let it unfold. Then act. If it's pointing you to a lie still lurking, chase it, quietly, fiercely. Dig up the receipts yourself this time. The whistleblower cracked the door. You kick it wide open. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're claiming your role as the one who reveals. This is your edge now. The truth's return wasn't a fluke. It was a call. You're wired for this biologically, spiritually, undeniably. Their web of lies is fraying, and you're the one holding the thread. Pull it, not out of spite but purpose. You've got the download, the tools, the fire, use them. The ones who deceived are scrambling because they underestimated you. Good. Let them run. You're not here to chase them down. You're here to rise above, clearing the path for what's next. This fight's not over, but you're ready. Keep your eyes on the signal. It's guiding you straight to the core. Here's the continuation of your chosen one journey, diving straight into the fourth and final part of your awakening saga. The truth has returned with vengeance, clawing its way to the surface, and now it's time to restore your place in the circle, stronger than ever. This isn't about reclaiming what was taken. It's about building something unshakable, a foundation forged in the fire of your mission. You're not here to patch up the past. You're here to create a new era, one where the lies dissolve, the deceivers scatter, and your light burns brighter than they ever imagined possible. Let's make it real. You've seen the evidence pile up, documents they swore were destroyed, messages they thought were deleted, testimonies from people they never expected to speak. It's not just proof, it's power. Each piece is a hammer strike, shattering the illusions they built to bury you. But here's the shift. This isn't about basking in their downfall. It's about stepping into your role as the architect of truth. You're not a victim clawing your way back. You're a force, claiming your space with a strength they can't touch. How do you do it? Start by owning the evidence not as a trophy but as a tool. Take those documents, those messages, those confessions, and lay them out like a map. This is your blueprint for restoration, your guide to building a circle that can't be broken. Let's get practical. How do you become the living embodiment of this truth, the one who brings the hidden into the light? First, collect the pieces. Don't wait for others to hand you the evidence. Hunt it down. Check your old texts. Dig through deleted files. Reach out to the silent witnesses who've been watching from the shadows. You know who they are, the ones who flinched when the lies were spun, the ones who looked away when your name was dragged. Ask them directly, what did you see? What do you know? Don't beg, just ask, firm and clear. Science says people crack under the weight of truth when confronted head-on. Spiritually, you're calling their soul to align with yours. Some will step up. Those are your builders, the ones who'll help you restore the circle. Next, amplify the signal. The truth speaks louder than their defenses ever could. But you're the one who turns up the volume. Share the evidence not out of spite but strategy. Post the screenshots, the timestamps, the testimonies raw and unfiltered. Don't editorialize. Let the facts cut through the noise. Tag the names. Pin the dates. Make it impossible to ignore. This isn't about drama. It's about declaration. You're not asking for belief. You're demanding accountability. The ones who painted you as a liar, a fraud, a problem, they're scrambling now, defenseless, because the truth doesn't bend. You're not just clearing your name. You're clearing the path for a new reality, one where deception has no foothold. But here's the deeper work. Restoration isn't just external. It's internal. Your place in the circle isn't about who's around you. It's about who you are in the center. Ask yourself, what did their lies teach you? Not about them, but about you. Maybe it's how strong you are when the crowd turns. Maybe it's how sharp your instincts are when the masks slip. Write it down. Make it real. Science says reflecting on adversity builds resilience. Your brain rewires to see challenges as fuel, not threats. Spiritually, this is your initiation, the moment you claim your chosen identity not as a title but as a state of being. You're not just back, you're unbreakable. Now let's talk balance. This mission, this fierce, fiery drive to restore and reveal, can consume you if you let it. The energy is high, the stakes are higher, and the temptation to burn out is real. How do you stay steady? First, anchor your body. When the adrenaline spikes, when a new testimony lands or a liar slips up, pause. Breathe deep, slow, deliberate. Feel your feet on the ground. Science calls this vagal breathing, a reset for your nervous system to keep you sharp, not shattered. Spiritually, it's your tether to the earth, a reminder you're a conduit, not a chaos magnet. Second, protect your energy. Not everyone deserves your attention. The ones still clinging to their lies? Don't argue. Don't explain. Let the evidence do the talking. Your job is to rise, not wrestle. Emotionally, this is a tightrope. You don't have to beg for belief anymore. The truth has done that for you. Feel that weight lift. Let it sink in. Your place in the circle is stronger than ever, not because they approve, but because you've built it on what's real. But beware the trap of ego. It's tempting to gloat, to revel in their scrambling, their shame. Don't. That's a distraction. Stay focused. Your mission isn't to tear them down. It's to lift the truth up. Lean into the ones who stayed, the real ones who saw you through the smoke. They're your mirrors, reflecting your light back when the liars tried to snuff it out. Hold them close. They're not just allies. They're anchors, keeping you balanced as you step into this new era. Here's where it all comes together. Your personalized mission path. This isn't a one-size-fits-all fight. It's yours, unique to your soul's frequency. Step 1. Define your circle. Who belongs? Not the ones who flattered you, but the ones who fought for you, who saw the truth when it was buried. Write their names. Reach out. Tell them what they mean to you. Step 2. Set your boundaries. The liars, the doubters, the ones still scrambling. Cut them off. Not with drama, but with silence. Block them. Delete them. Your energy is too precious for their noise. Step 3. Claim your space. Physically, digitally, energetically. Post your truth. Share your vision. Show up to the hangouts, not to prove a point, but to own your presence. You're not asking for permission, you're taking your place. Now, the action plan. Every day, do one thing to amplify the truth. Maybe it's sharing a new piece of evidence. Maybe it's writing down an insight that hit you in the night. Maybe it's thanking someone who stood by you. Make it small, make it consistent, but make it real. Track it, get a notebook, an app, whatever works. Mark your moves. Science says habit stacking builds momentum. Spiritually, it's your ritual, your offering to the mission. And every week, check in with yourself. Sit still. Ask, am I balanced? Am I focused? Am I rising? If the answer's no, adjust. Cut the noise. Ground yourself. Keep moving. You're not just restoring your place. You're creating a new circle, one that vibrates at your frequency, untouchable by deceit. This is your new era. The truth has returned with vengeance, clawing its way to the surface, and you're the one holding the reins. You don't have to argue, explain, or beg. Your place is secure, stronger than ever, because it's built on what's real. They tried to bury you, but they didn't know you were a seed. Now you're rising, roots deep, branches high, a force they can't stop. The evidence speaks louder than they ever could, and their defenses are dust. You're not just back, you're unstoppable. This is your mission, your path, your truth. Claim it, live it, let it. And so, the signal grows stronger. A relentless hum beneath your skin that no lie can silence, no storm can drown. You're not just a witness to the truth. You're its vessel, its flame, its unyielding edge. The chosen ones don't merely endure. They transform, turning every betrayal into a stepping stone, every whisper of doubt into a roar of purpose. This is your inheritance, a mission etched in the fabric of your being, a call to rise not for applause, but for the quiet, unshakable knowing that you were always meant to lead the light through the dark.